What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. I feel a little bit heavy right now because I have to come before you and say that I've just done a terrible job being a YouTuber the past like 4 days or something. My commitment to the daily YouTube is struggling right now. But don't worry, we got plenty more coming. Alright? As long as God's still alive, which he is. It's gonna be some videos talking about some things he likes to do sometimes. But you know what? I want to share really something specifically God's done to provide for me, which is my role at Northwestern Mutual. I don't think I have talked about that in specificity before, but there's several reasons why this is so God, because even thinking about working there in the first place, I felt like I wanted to give financial advising a shot, but Northwestern specifically, just one of my friend's dads from high school was the partner managing the Houston office, and I just sent him an email and was like, can I work for you? And then got in the system, did the interviews, whatever, and got a college intern role. And so, if I didn't have that relationship, which I had nothing to do with building, I didn't network or anything like that. Without that relationship already being in my life, zero chance I would have worked for Northwestern. And so that's just a cool God provision. But and then getting the college internship was great, because that spring, Megan and I were married already, the spring of my senior year, but Megan had an accounting internship in Houston for the first 10 weeks of the semester, but I was still a full-time college student. But I was like, we're not about to live apart. But I'm also not going to commute every day. So I got all my classes on Tuesday, Thursday, which that in itself is just favor of God. So we lived in Houston for 10 weeks, but then I was like, then I need a job in Houston that I can have for 10 weeks, that ideally I can then keep working when we move back to College Station, and then I commute to Houston 3 days a week. And I got this job at Northwestern, which I got to work in the Houston office when I was in Houston, but they also had an office in College Station. And so actually I got for those 10 weeks, I was working in Houston 3 days a week, and sometimes we do some meetings in College Station on Tuesday, Thursday. And then when I went to College Station, I did Houston usually just 1 day a week, and would pack out my Fridays. And so just having a job that I could change cities, 10 weeks in, was awesome. And it's because College Station is technically a branch, or it's under the jurisdiction of the Houston partner. So that was awesome. And then I did well enough to flip full time, which I was the only one in my intern class that was even considered. Everyone else, it was definitely not the right role for them, which is not the right role for most people. So no shame there. But God brought people to me, helped me do the job, and was able to find people that Northwestern could serve in a way that was fitting for them, not scamming people or being weird or pushy. And so that was great, and honestly, just God protected me too, because even when I left Northwestern, ultimately, I didn't have any regrets about anything that I said to any client. I didn't feel bad about anything that I recommended to any client. And I'm just so thankful for that. I just didn't want to lose my soul over trying to make $1, Northwestern Mutual was, and probably still is, a 100% commission job. So it's just straight, you get paid off what you sell. You don't get paid 100% commissions on what you sell, but 100% of what you get paid is just a percentage of the commission that you sell for Northwestern products, helping people with insurance, investments, etc. All that to say, I made enough money to live, we were paying off student loans and paying rent, all that stuff. And then I was able to go full time. And then I ended up working for about almost another year after flipping full time in the summer before switching into vocational ministry. But in terms of how the business was going, I could have kept working for sure at Northwestern, and there were people that were really sad that I left. Not so sad, but disappointed, or man, you really could have done this. My pledge mom, I don't remember what her actual name is or what her actual role is, but she works with the interns and the first year staff, especially with these weekly check-in meetings, and goes through your activity numbers and all that stuff, gives you coaching points, etc. When I left Northwestern to go into ministry, she was literally brought to tears thinking about how commendable the sacrifice of my career at Northwestern is. She saw enough, that's just really encouraging from her, but she saw enough enough promise, enough potential, enough productivity in that first year and change that I worked at Northwestern, that she's and she knew that I knew that you could really do this, and you to give up the year of work that you've put into this, because you don't get anything, once you leave, there's no income stream coming to you. That's just it. And she knew that, I could have done it big at Northwestern. So God provided for me, right? That's a big blessing. But another huge blessing of this whole experience is that I got industry experience that has helped me so much in starting my own RIA firm, and so many things that I learned that have helped me in a positive way, and also so many things I've learned about the way the industry works that I wanted to do differently. If I hadn't have worked at Northwestern, I wouldn't have been able to piece together vision for my own firm, because there's so much about the industry standard that I learned so up close and personal because of my experience at Northwestern that I wouldn't have known. I would have just had, predisposed suppositions of what I think it's like, but I could have never, with true conviction, started my own firm and communicate what makes this firm valuable, if that makes sense, or what makes this firm different from the industry standard. And so I'm being long-winded, but the training was so helpful, but also the experience was just, I can't put a price tag on it. And the culture was also super healthy. I wasn't poisoned at all by Northwestern. There's so much that I admire about how the firm operates, but I'm so glad to be running my own firm, and I just wouldn't be able to if it wasn't for Northwestern. And that's even a big thing they advertise in their internship program, I think, is whatever, what the internship is rated, or some percentage of CEOs in America that once upon a time worked at Northwestern. It's kind of a weird way to advertise your internship. Hey, you're probably going to leave. You probably won't like this. Come work for us. But the training you'll receive, the experience you'll receive, could really set you up for a career of success, even if this isn't the right career for you. It's really a decent selling point. But all that to say, just even going to their annual meeting, for a week long of this big Northwestern conference in Milwaukee, and getting to work side by side so many different, bona fide advisors within the Northwestern system, and just providing me access to learn so much more about the industry and to glean from so many experiences, and the meetings that I got to sit in on. Again, just so helpful. And to think about starting BR Legacy without that experience at Northwestern feels like a total fantasy. Like, there's just no way I would have known the specific things I wanted to do differently. And there's also no way I would have known like the grit of what it takes to do this business well, and just the process of building trust with clients, even, just the self-confidence to like, can I even do this? Whereas because I did this at Northwestern, it's like, oh, I know I can do this. Like, I did do this, but now I'm just going to do it in a way that I think is even better. And if I had enough conviction and clarity to do that, then of course I can do this, and it's easier, and a year and change is not a long time of, industry experience to then go start your own business. But the amount you learn is not just a function of time, obviously. And at Northwestern, the activity level, you could just, it's kind of like real estate agents. Like, you could be a real estate agent that does not actually learn very much over a year because you mainly don't do anything. But every now and then you get to sell a house and get a commission, so way to go. Or you could be one of those real estate agents that's like going door to door, and you're just really like, you are consumed. You are doing the real estate agent life. And that's what I was doing. It was the Northwestern life, just stacking meetings, boom, 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 throughout the day, and driving around town, doing this, doing that. And just so thankful that that God set me up to even have that role, and to give me favor to continue in that role, and to open my eyes to see ways that I wanted to build upon that experience through starting my own RIA firm. So just so thankful for that. And also on a lower key level, just a job where you create your own schedule, you work your own pace. There's not someone over your shoulder telling you what to do, but technically you're an independent contractor building your own financial business under the Northwestern banner. And just that freedom was also just helpful for me to engage with it. Just given having ADHD, like, it's just, you need some space to roam, and if you have the motivation to work hard, then, here's the runway to do it, versus showing up at a job where they just give you your job description and here, just do these things. And, that for me would be just incredibly draining, very, very draining. But I didn't even know that I had ADHD back then when I took this Northwestern job. Again, it was just God going before me, protecting me, getting me into a role that I would thrive in, and keeping me out of scenarios that might have seemed more impressive on paper, but ultimately would have really left me burnt out, jaded, discouraged, and just like big sigh, like, another day. And that's just never how I felt at Northwestern. It felt like game day every day. You just gotta really psych yourself up. There's so many waves of emotions and effort, and it's just not like a normal job, It's not quite like bona fide entrepreneurship by any means, but again, it gave me a frame of reference that made the jump into starting an RIA firm specifically a less intimidating jump than it otherwise would have been. So thankful for that. Thanks, Jeff, for giving me a chance. Thanks, James, for all the years together. Well, all the MIMs together in that 1 year. You have a lot more years there than me, but just thankful for the experience. So much better for it, and just want to testify. God's good. That's all I got for y'all today. I'll talk to y'all soon. Life is worship. God is love.